So this is gameplay for my Crackle with Power deck. Obviously I've been tweaking the deck, modifying it a bit. So a lot of the land has been improved upon, trying to reduce any come into play tap lands. As you can see, this original build had lands that come into play tap. But we're trying to experiment. We're trying to try something. But after a while, if it don't work, it don't work, and you gotta change things up. So let's skip a couple steps. So you see, I have Morbid Opportunist. I took it out of the build, so it's no longer in the build. But it was in the Draw Engine. It's still a good strategy. I'll try to implement it in another deck, because the idea is, you're making tokens. Tokens die, because you're using them offensively, and you draw. Like for example, you see this combo right here. So I will someday in the future revisit this combo as a draw engine, because you can see the devil token will deal 1 damage when it dies. This Zario Planeswalker is still in the deck. Teleportation Circle, of course, and Burn Down the House is still in the deck. It's just Morbid Opportunist isn't. I took it out and put a white what's his name? Yeah, Dawnbringer. He had a really cool name, Dawnbringer something. He has the ability to give me, for me to gain 2 life. Plundering Barbarian still in the deck, of course, because it combos with a Teleportation Circle, so I can get a whole bunch of treasure token. Because the goal is to get 8 or more mana. So when we use our Crackle with Power, we can do 10 or more damage to our opponent. So with 8 mana, we could do 10 damage to up to 2 targets. So 10 to our opponent, 10 to something else, like a planeswalker or creature or something, right? So our goal is to at least deal some damage here and there. As you can see, I board wiped, dealing my opponent damage with the devil tokens, which is another use of why I use the devil token, the planeswalker, because it makes the devil tokens just like a Burn Down the House. Not only it being a board wipe, also I can use it to make the tokens, use the tokens to burn my opponent. But the goal is to at least get my opponent down to 10. It's not that hard to get your opponent down to 10 life. So you get the planeswalker down there. When the token dies, I deal my opponent damage. I'm chipping away at their life, trying to get them into kill range, which is 10 life or less. And of course, I'm trying to get to 8 mana. So most of my play style with this deck is stalling, putting up bodies just to take hits left and right, and then slowly wither my opponent's life down. I do have the ability to reuse my Crackle, so using my Crackle even just for 5 mana, just to deal my opponent at least 5 damage, or kill something, use this kill spell. So you see, I got, you see the little trick there, where I play the Plunder to get the token, the treasure token, use the treasure token so I can play Teleport, and then I'll Teleport combined with Plundering, Barbarian. Now I get another treasure token. So now every turn, at the end of my turn, I get an extra treasure token. I already have 7 lands over here, plus a treasure token, that's 8. So I already have the 8 I need to do 10 damage to my opponent. But if I can get up to 14 mana, then I could do 20 to my opponent. And 20 to like 3 other targets, but that's irrelevant. So obviously I have another plunder in my hand, so that's why I blocked. I want to keep my my ability to keep making tokens and burn my opponent. So here's another land, but it comes into play tapped. So let's see that problem. So of course I fix that later on. I put this back out there, and this is Draw Engine. It's still a good card. Like, if you want to put it back in the deck, that's on you. Find a way to splash it back in, And then we go again, linking, creating more. I definitely would like to get to 14 mana, because that right there. No, not 4. I don't need 14. I would need 11. 11 will be enough to do 15 damage. 14 is if I'm trying to do 20 damage to my opponent. I only need to at least do 15, right? And the cool little trick here is if I did get to T11 mana, one of the creatures I target with the card's effect, Crackle, would be the demon token, right? The devil token. So that way, do 15 to my opponent, kill the devil token, and do the extra 1 damage to finish him off. So in that type of scenario, so you see the synergies even with the tokens and the Crackle to try to deal an extra damage. So that's the usefulness of the devil tokens. Of course, my opponent's trying to take that thing down. They managed to do it. Here, if I had more than one thing to remove from play to get effects, right now I'm just going to see. That's why I had the land, because the land could do 3 damage. Remember, the land's still good. I mean, if you want to give it a try, use that land to help you. See, I'm blinking them out so I can use them defensively, because I already used them offensively. So I attack and now I can defend. Attack and defend. Because the goal is obviously to build up my mana, but I can't. Right now I have 20 life, so I could let my opponent deal me damage left and right. So I don't have to block. But if I was in a position where I had to block, then obviously I would block. Check something. Like he's starting to put some big. Look, bang! Look how big they are. Granted, I can afford to take 10 damage right now, because if I draw my Crackle, it's game. But fortunate for me, my opponent didn't attack. I guess Summoning Sickness, obviously on that one, but could have tried to attack with that. I guess he was concerned that I have a clapback, because I have red in my deck, so probably expected a haste flyer or something, and was concerned. So you see, me experimenting, and I used up my tokens, treasure tokens, to trigger this. Try to do a little board wipe. So, and scry, and then you see I have the Crackle. So bang, bang, bang. I draw. So I'm drawing my Crackle. So even though it all plays out, and it's 2 Crackles on top of it, right? So I get 2 Crackles. So even though this is all playing out, I still took out the Morbids, because I tend to hard draw the Crackle with power, so I don't need necessarily a draw engine, but I do like the idea of a draw engine. So ironically, the scry was more useful, because doing 2 damage to everything didn't matter, because my opponent still had their board. The only one that lost something was me. I lost my token generator. But my opponent's at 9 life, so we all know I have 2, 4, 6, 7. So I have 7 mana. I just need 1 more. So if I draw land, game, right? So I draw. Oh look, it's a land, and I have 2 Crackles in my hand. Oh, another land. I'm definitely going for game. Boom. So here we go. I pay. I always keep thinking I can pay more. I pay 2. This will let me do 10 damage to 2 targets. 1 to my opponent, 1 to a creature. So target my opponent, target one of his creatures, and bang, 10 damage. So there it is. Simple, not complicated strategy to play. You just play Magic the way you normally do, try to do, some damage here and there, make certain plays, certain moves, and, build up your mana and burn them for game. That's how burn mages do things. And that's the end of the gameplay. I already uploaded the deck profile, so go check it out.